Hey y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler, and you've arrived at day 42 of the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2020. Thank you so much for being with me today. Today marks the first day of our collaboration with my friend Aishwarya from India. She is also a CZT and was in my CZT class. So we are excited to do this together. Her channel here on YouTube is called Tangle and Inspire, and she is certainly inspirational. So the project that Aishwarya and I are doing together is that she is going to do what she's calling a string in her Zentangle journal, and she has asked me to choose radial tangles, or blossom tangles, meaning they start in the center and radiate out from there. And blossom tangles, of course, function the same way. And so that is what I have done. And I'm going to step out the patterns for you and do my tile as per usual. And then if you guys are interested in journaling with your Zentangle, then you can take your pattern over to her channel on Tangle and Inspire and enjoy her putting the pattern into the string, okay? So we are going to be starting that today, and our first tangle is going to be Popsicles by Michelle Beecham. And she is one of my, again, one of my very favorite artists. I have a lot of favorites. So this is the tangle, or at least my early renditions of it. It's basically a radial line tangle. And so I thought it might be fun, since I haven't done this yet. I have a whole new pack of Sakura Moonlights that I got along with my last project pack. And so I decided to drag them out today and see what kind of fun we can have. So I'm going to, this is done with a penciled string, if you will. I don't know exactly where that line is at Tangle Patterns where we don't have penciled guidelines, but for some tangles we do. And this is one of those that do. So since I'm working on black, I'm going to use my white charcoal pencil for the string today. And so this starts with little circles. Okay, and I'm going to put, I think I'll do 3 on here. Okay, now out from that a bit, I'm going to draw a wavy line. It can be as wavy or as not wavy as you like. It may be easier for you to do this if you will make the waves gentle instead of pronounced. So more like, well, that one. We're leaving it though, because I like it. I don't think I can do not just gentle waves. I think I have to do these crazy, but you, of course, may draw this second step as you wish. All right? So now what we want to do is make one larger circular string around these. And they're going to overlap. We want them to overlap because that is part of the fun of this pattern. So I'm going to make these not quite as wavy. Still maybe a little bit of wave. And I'm just going to start with the first one. And let it go off the tile like this. And then when I draw the one around this one, this is going to overlap. And you want these outer ones to be not quite as involved and exciting as the inner aura or the inner wavy line. Ooh, we intersected 3 times, didn't we? These are called, are you ready guys? I have a math term for you, concentric circles. Ooh. I don't know if I like the way these overlapped here, but we're going to find out how it works. So I tested on the back, as you can see, my different moonlight colors that I have that I might want to use today. And so I came away with a couple of conclusions, and that is that the metallic ones are really pretty on black and they run really smooth. And so I have this really spring green kind of metallic. This is a gel pen from Sakura, but it's a metallic green. And so I'm going to use this for my very first step, okay? And hopefully, let's zoom in so you guys can see this really well, okay? So we've got our overlapping lines. And so when you start with your pen, whether you're working on black or not, just pick up your pen. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill each one of these shapes with S shapes, okay? And so what that's going to look like is just like that, okay? So we're going to start on the next line and move towards the middle, okay? And we're going to continue this and just fill this up with S shapes. Now, Michelle's are probably purposefully wiggly, and that's fine. Funny, when I need wiggles, I have trouble getting them. But every time you come to a place and you feel like you've lost your S's, just start again. They don't have to be perfect, but we want some interest happening here. Okay? So when you come to places like this, just go to your empty spot and start again, S. Eventually, they're going to come together okay. If they don't, that's fine too. Simba says hi to Karma. Wondering how his little Doberman friend is doing. Okay. So this is our first step where we have gone from center or from the second line into the first line with little S shapes that radiate out from the center, okay? Now I'm going to change colors, of course, because I can. And I'm going to use my metallic blue from Sakura. It's also Sakura. It's also in metallic. And I'm going to continue drawing S shapes from the outer line to the inner line, okay? And I'm just going to line them up. And I'm going to try to be careful to start and end these as neatly as possible. You sort of get in a Zen mode with these kinds of tangles, and you can forget to take care. At least I can. So I'm going to really try to do that. And when you lose your S shape, just find it and start again, okay? If these don't all match up, it's going to be absolutely okay. Just keep finding that S shape as they run out of curves and get flat. Just go to the next spot and start with another S. That is going to work out just fine. Remember, we want to do this to add interest here. I used to draw on these black tiles. Now these are, this is a black apprentice tile. I I have worked on original tiles in black, and original Zentangle tiles in black, and I just find them difficult. The jelly, it's so porous. The surface is so porous that when I use jelly rolls on there, they just soak in and they don't show up well. And so I really like the smooth, sort of harder surface of these apprentice tiles. And so I usually buy my black tiles like this. And just leave the original black tiles for someone who's better at getting those to work for them. I have seen so many beautiful pieces of art with those, and I used black mandala last summer, I think, and did gold jelly roll over it, and I ended up having to put white jelly roll underneath the gold so that it would sort of hold it up and it wouldn't get lost. All right, so here's what I've got. This is basically the pattern. Now, what do you do in these little interstices where your pattern is overlapping? So let's take another color. I'm going to use my purple. And this is the reason that I did this on black, is because by changing colors, you can bring emphasis or de-emphasize different parts of this. So in the gaps, you're going to want to use the same technique. You're going to want to just make S shapes from one side to the next. Like this. Okay? Not too bad. So I'm going to take this same color and finish all three of these spots like this. Okay. This one's a little small for S's. Let's see what we can do though. Might have been asking too much. All right, so now all we have to do is continue to fill these in the same fashion with little S shapes. I can change color or not as often as I like. I'm going to try blue now. I've got a light blue here that I have never used before, so let's hope it's not too scritchy. That's my technical word for pens, gel pens that just drag and don't flow easily. Sakuras are the best ones that I found, but by no means are they perfect. And remember, your S shapes are going to change and wobble and do all kinds of weird stuff, and that's absolutely fine. If you lose your S flow, just go to the next spot and start again. Now, put music in here. Whew, Simba, you are a rootin' tootin' cowboy today. Simba is passing some serious gas right now. I'm surprised Mari hasn't come running from the living room screaming and holding his nose. 'Cause he could. That was probably too much information for everybody, wasn't it? I see I'm going to have to put some music in here. Alright, see, so it does not have to be perfect. I am going to try What else have I got here? I'm going to try this sort of teal green and see how this works. And yes, I'm enjoying trying all of my new colors. When these start giving you trouble, wipe your tips off. I should have given that caveat to begin with. If you're going to use gel pens, you want to keep your tips wiped clean. They tend to build up some gunk, sort of like your eyes at night. They have sleep stuff. So there's a couple of ways you can handle the shading on tiles like this. You can use your white charcoal pencil. I frequently, and some of the other CZTs here may be able to give better advice on this. You can use your white charcoal pencil in much the same way you use a graphite pencil, and normally the results you get are fine. That's one way. Another way that I actually like a little bit better than that, especially since we're using color, is to use colored pencils for shading. And I think I will probably do that here, use colored pencils. Sorry about that. Get out of my light. But let's get finished before we decide. Now, part of the fun of this pattern is the shading. And so I hope I don't lose that fun by having fun with color. But I think we can make it work. And there. Also, if you're having trouble getting your ink to flow nicely, try switching your pen around. Rotating your pen in your hand, that helps sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes nothing helps and you just need a white jelly roll number 10, which is what we're doing next. Because I know this is going to work. These babies are sheer pleasure to use. Let's hope it turns out well for me. Now you can, like I do, get these little bumps of ink at the bottom. Try lifting your pen, which I do to better and lesser effect. Okay, and then I think on this one I'm going to do white for both rows. So here I go again, S shapes. And remember, you cannot get this wrong. It does not have to be perfect. You're going to find that this pattern will work pretty much any way you want to do it. Well, I don't know what that was. A backwards S, that's what that was. Almost done. Well, I can't wait to see what Aishwarya has for us today. I have never done any kind of Zentangle journaling, so it'll be fun to find out. And I'm sure she will be giving you guys links on her descriptions for the Facebook group and all of those. All right. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. This is basically your tangle. And if I were going to be using graphite, and by the way, you can use graphite to shade on these situations. You want to make sure that your gel pen is definitely dry all the way. Okay. Now, this pattern is all about shading. And so let me take my white charcoal pencil and start by shading around the edges of this white one that I've got here. And I'll show you what I mean. Now I'm going to be in trouble because my new tortillon is all graphite-y. We'll have to find another one, or clean one. So you're not going to get in the middle of your little overlap spots. I'm just going to go around that. One thing I learned early on with black tiles is that you can put color over gel pen. If you put colored pencil over white gel pen, then you can see the white through, usually. And so that's an interesting thing that we can try. Okay, the second place to shade is going to be here where your initial shapes were. And you're going to want to follow your curves. Make it nice and thick so that any messy lines you've got can just be covered right up. Okay, and now there is one more place that you can shade if you would like. You don't have to, and that is in these dips. These little S dips that we made, the little curves of your S shapes. And it's not going to work everywhere, but everywhere you see some little dips. Right here, maybe. You can just line a little bit of pencil on there. So let me find this storied tortillon that is clean over here. I'm not sure. Oh, looky there, I found one, and it's clean, brand new. Look at that. Somebody's looking out after me today. Or is they really? I get you back and it's is they? What is wrong with you, little boy? Probably what? You're funny. So I am just rubbing this out exactly the same way I would handle graphite. Just making the surfaces really smooth. trying not to leave any, you know, wild lines in there, except for the ones I want. I really love working with charcoal pencil on black tiles. It is just a joy. And I love these black apprentice tiles. The tooth is fairly smooth compared to the original tiles, and I really, really enjoy working on it. Well, I have some interesting spots here, but you get the impression, right? And I think the last spot probably would be right around the center here. Like that, something similar. So I can take my white charcoal pencil and do the rest of these in a similar fashion. Or I can try my colored pencils. Electric blue. All right, I think that's electric blue. Oh no, this is non-photo blue, which is one of my favorite ones because it's nice and bright. So I'm going to use this over here on, I think I'll use this over here. Now I'm going to handle this like I do colored pencils, so little circles. Just little gentle light circles all the way around the edge. And you can see it just picks up everything perfectly. Okay. And in my little dips. Again, we can blend this out either with alcohol blender or with mineral solution, or you can use your colorless blending stick or pencil, whatever it is. Whatever it is, I have been making up terms for all kinds of stuff this week. Luckily, you guys don't care. Or do they? I can't even go to sleep at night without hearing that in my head. Yeah. And so I'm just going to move down to the first separation here. And put a little blue pencil around there. It won't obscure the lines, but it will give it some color, which is a nice effect. And then here, I think, not sure I want to do any more for that. So you can see colored pencil also fairly effective for this. Just use it exactly like you would the other. And then on this one, I think I want a green pencil, not too dark. Let's see if I can find my apple pencil. That would be perfect. This is apple green. Oh, that's French. That's all that's left is the French. And I'm just going to lay this down in little circles as well. It's a much more greeny, springy green than the teal that I used, but I like the contrast. And as always, you guys may do whatever you wish with yours. I am just saying how I'm going to handle mine. Maybe my ideas aren't the greatest, frequently, that turns out, but sometimes they turn out really well. So I'm going to trust myself enough to go for it and see what happens. Unfortunately, I'm having to go for it on worldwide YouTube. I'm not excited. It's not that many people, but still, y'all are from all over, which is pretty awesome. I'll have people in Belgium saying y'all before you know it. What do you think, y'all? About my peeps in the Netherlands and Holland. Any of y'all got a y'all in you? You gotta say it like that, though. Y'all. How about you Canadians? You got a y'all in you? What about you, Julianne? You got a y'all? So we don't y'all here. Well, we'll just have to y'all enough for everybody. So I do like to y'all people. I've just always thought that the English language needed a plural you form, and I just think the South has you know, supplied that need. I just don't know why people can't get on board with it. It just makes entirely too much sense for me. I'm just teasing. I am well spoken enough usually that I can appreciate the colloquialisms of the places where I live, although I swear every time I turn on the news and they're interviewing anyone from Oklahoma, they don't have any teeth and they have a long white beard and it's hanging in their mouth. So yeah, not real impressed with the people around here. But I know that there's lots of educated people, lots of fine people, and there's nothing wrong with not having teeth either. Just saying. I may get there before we know it. All right. And I think I'm going to put a little bit up here. And a little bit up here. And maybe a little bit up here. I actually like how this turned out. It's kind of cool. Now, one last thing I need to do, and that is to find something to shade in my little purple spots because they have been completely obscured by the people around them. So I'm going to use my processed red, which is really more of a pink, for this. And just run the color all the way across there. And I'm not going to worry about dips and all of that. I'm just going to make them pink or processed red. Oh, see how that did? That turned out great. All right. So what do you guys think? Not so bad. I haven't done anything on black in a long time, so I'm pretty hyped. This looks good. I like it. So this is Popsicles by Michelle Beecham for day 42 of the 100 Days of Zentangle. Now, pick up your Tangle, take it over to Tangle and Inspire, and check out Aishwarya's Zen log series that she is doing for Zentangle journaling. So I will be excited to see what you guys are doing with her. And I will see you all tomorrow for another radial tangle.